I'll be there to share the land that I'm giving away. We all live together. Instead of talking about the feeling now, maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that I'm giving away. We all live together, yeah. You know we stand there by to help you with your worries. No more sadness, no more sorrow, no more bad times. Every day comes sun, and everybody laughing. Walking together by the river, walking together laughing. Everybody singing, 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 and everybody laughing. Good time, good time, good time, good time to walk around. Always singing, smiling, laughing, everybody good. Good time, good time, good time. No more sadness, no more sorrow. We're gonna share the land.
Oh, thank you, Aidan Farrell and the band. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and good morning to everyone who is on Facebook Live or watching in the archives later this week. I'm Helen Vello. I'm the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living. We are a new thought center. What is new thought? Oh, it's a new thought, a new spontaneous idea that brings us to the next evolution of who we are. And we believe in the unity of all life. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And we come together on a Sunday to celebrate community, to honor and recognize the power for good that is within each and every one of us all the time, all the time. So, with that, I'm going to give you some announcements. So, Sunday, June 3rd, finally is the first gathering of our CSL men's group. So, if you are a guy, a man, then please come and join Jim and the rest of the guys upstairs at 1 o'clock on Sunday, June 3rd. Now, Thursday, June 24th, we have a free essential oils class. It's all about your health, and that's at 7 o'clock. On May 24th, upstairs, free to attend. We also have on Friday, June 15th, David Hickey is going to be here to give a crystal bowl healing concert. He is renowned. He travels all over the world giving these incredible concerts. So you don't want to miss it. You can get tickets online. They're $30. They will be $35 at the door, but personally, I wouldn't wait because they're selling. And we can take, I think, about 70 people in here. So make sure you go online and get your ticket for that. I would like to take a moment to thank Linda and Rivers, who have committed to beautifying our center. They do the planters out front. And for those of you who don't come in the back alleyway, like I do every day, but so does anyone who's renting our space upstairs. And they have done a beautiful planter, but not only that, they planted ivy all along in the boxes. So, thanks to Margaret Ann, we have renamed it Ivy Lane.
Awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cute? So the next thing is painting back there. I'm always looking for volunteers who would like to help me do a little bit of painting. And it's not much to do, but we are going to paint the door, and then we're going to touch up the walls so that, again, it looks clean and inviting and warm and welcoming, because that's who we are, right? And of course, if we have that consciousness of that, it will be reflected in our space. Now, I also have an ask of you today. How many of you are on Facebook? Raise your hands. Yeah, I know you two are. And you. And okay, I'm looking this way. And I know Tony is. He's on camera today. So my ask is, please go on to our Facebook page, Center for Spiritual Living Toronto, and write a review. That's my first ask. I always have a second ask. My second ask is to help us spread the word about the David Hickey concert, and we have a Facebook event page. Please invite your friends. This is a wonderful opportunity, and it is such a coup to have him come and be at our center. So those are my two asks of you today. Well, I might have more during the service, but for now. Friday, June 15th. Yes, at 7:30 p.m. to 9:30. He's going to play 2 sets. Okay, that's all my announcements for this morning. I'm going to pass it over to Aidan Farrell.
What's that song that can't be sung by two? A broken home, a broken heart, isolated and afraid. Open up, this is a raid. I wanna get it through to you. You're not alone. You're not alone. Every night I stand in your place. Every tear on every face tastes the same. An open hand, an open heart. There's no need to be afraid. Open up, this is a raid. I wanna get it through to you. You're not alone. No. I wanna get it through to you. You're not alone. I wanna get it through to you. You're not alone. I wanna get it through to you. You're not alone.
Beautiful. Thank you. What I'm going to invite you to do is open up your hands. Open up your hands. Have a seat. Welcome. Thank you for bringing your consciousness here with us today. Ah, yes. Open up your hands. Open up your heart. Breathe into your heart space. Breathing in, knowing that spirit manifests itself through all individuals. No two people are alike. Each of us has a unique place in the universal mind. Each of us live in the universal mind, and each contacts the divine through our own mentality in our own unique, individual way. If we make ourselves receptive to the idea of love, we become lovable. To the degree we embody love, we are love. So, people who love are loved. If we are receptive to the idea of peace, poise, and calm, whoever embodies these divine realities finds them flowing through them. And they become peace, poise, and calm. Breathe in, receive love, receive peace, receive poise, receive calm. Breathe it in, and so it is now. Are you feeling it? Yeah. Despite any other noise that's going on. But we're going to be louder than that noise because we're all going to stand up and sing, I Can See Clearly Now. The words are in your program.
Bright
think we made more noise than the kitchen staff behind us. There's a whole kitchen behind us. Oh, I have the honor now of inviting up our practitioner of the day who gives so much of her heart and soul to this center. She is on our board of trustees. She is running a home group, the Knit One Pearl Two. She is an active practitioner in this center, and we are blessed. And she always makes us laugh when she's up here talking. So welcome up to the front here, Linda Fasowski.
Oh, man. Yes, it was last time I was up here 2 weeks ago when I was saying yes to kindness. Do you remember that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so today I want to thank, first of all, Reverend Helen. Good morning to everybody online, and what a wonderful, warm, Victoria weekend it is. So when I saw this song, I Can See Clearly Now, it really evoked a lot of memories. Because almost 6 years ago today, I had the opportunity through a dear friend who said to me, "Oh, Linda, why don't you just stop by that Center of Spiritual Living and just kind of check it out," right? Well, I thought, okay, I would. So I checked out, I came in, geez, I was a little nervous. So I came in and I slithered in that back row. Can't see who's there, but whoever it is, I was right there behind you. And I slithered in and stood like this, right? I thought, oh my God, I wonder if I'm here. But a dear friend had recommended it. So I had a sense of faith and trust in her. So someone's joining it. So I quietly left, but I was stunned when I left the center because I knew something that happened had changed in me. And you know, sometimes it's just like one decision that changes our lives. So imagine, I can't imagine my life if I had said no to this. Oh my God, let me just walk you through the last 6 years, because I am just such not the person, that shy, reserved person that didn't believe in herself, that was hanging on to such baggage that came through those doors, really. I ran out the next day, that day after service. I felt, I didn't know what had hit me, but I wanted to come back. And that's been the beginning of an incredible journey for me in the last 6 years. Thank goodness I said yes. So 6 years of deepening and awakening of who I truly am. I realized I wasn't my patterns. I wasn't my old beliefs. I was this divine expression. I was perfect, whole, and complete as I am. Grew up with a competitive family and on the tennis court a lot. My father played for Canada, Davis Cup, so my sister and I from here were groomed to hit thousands of tennis balls, not hundreds, thousands. So what did that do? That set me up for, I hate to tell you how many years, to think everything I did in life was going to be hard. I set that up. And guess what? I created that. So everything I did, I had the mental belief that it was going to be hard for me to achieve. So coming into this philosophy, this healing philosophy of science of mind, I came to the conclusion, wow, I created that. I can uncreate that and live in a different way. What a revelation. I was Ernest Holmes' principle is not bound by precedence. That really took home for me, because I realized that every day I could start a brand new day, that I could live consciously and if I had a belief and it didn't suit me, serve me, I could let it go. Imagine, I had free will choice to do that. So every time that little puppy came up, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, guess what I said? Delete. Yes, I can live in peace. Yes, I choose to live in peace. So let's go on, and I'll give you another things of what's happened in the last 6 years in my life. So So I have released old beliefs and old patterns, and that continually unfolds in my life. I continually expanded into what we call the mental equivalent. So when challenging experiences come up, I don't hit a wall anymore. I say, this little voice says, I know the truth of who I am. I choose to live in peace. I choose to live in who I am. I am perfect. I'm whole. So today I walk in faith, I work in trust, and I work in confidence that I'm guided at all times. So in those 6 years, 2 of the 6 years I went into, again, suggested by a friend of mine, to go into practitioner studies. Some of my practitioner friends are here today. And my gosh, what a journey that was of transformation. Just anchoring in the truth of who I am, that I am perfect, I am whole, I am peace, if I choose to live from that place. So for me, many years in Toronto, growing up as a child, my sister and I attended with our family the Presbyterian Church in North Toronto. And we would often sing the lyrics to this song. I'm sure you will remember it. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. How many of you remember that? Yes, yes. So in the world more than ever right now, this is my mantra. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So this place of inner peace within me allows me to be in touch with who I truly am. A place to quietly relax into my beingness, as we did this morning with Carol's beautiful peace meditation. I often find peace myself quietly walking in nature. How many of you have been out taking walks and seen those buds on those lilacs and forsythia trees and the tulips and the muscari? That's God expressing. What a peaceful place for me to be. I often, and Judy Southam and I often will go down to the lake and walk on Lake Ontario, and that to me is also a peaceful place. So my question to you today is, where and with whom do you find that sacred place of peace? Peace, as we know, is a choice. And even when the outside world appears to be in turmoil, we can always make a choice to go home to that sacred place within. As our founder Ernest Holmes states, one alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. Each one of us can make a significant impact on the world consciously by choosing peace in every moment, in every breath, in every step. So let's remember this. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Namaste. So I believe you have your card. Our affirmation for the month is on this beautiful card. I'll say it once and then we can repeat it twice together. I choose to live a peaceful and harmonious life today. Let's say that twice together. I choose to live a peaceful and harmonious life today. One more time. I choose to live a peaceful and harmonious life today. Thank you. Let's breathe that in. So I invite you, just get comfortable in your seats. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes, and I'll walk you through an affirmative prayer. So in this moment, this sacred, beautiful moment, which will never come again, let us breathe in the peace, the joy, the oneness of this moment. For in this moment, peace seeks my eyes and love seeks my heart. I quiet my mind and be the peace I wish to be. Yes, I can see clearly now, for I know there is one presence, one power, one infinite intelligence, one peace, one God. And this is the truth of who I am. We are one. Each one of us are individualized expressions of this universal mind, of this spirit. Yes, there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with each one of us. As we see this divine energy in each and every person we meet. And I claim in this moment that peace is possible, and peace begins in every breath and every step. Imagine a world where we all lived in peace. It is possible. I choose peace. I choose love. And with this knowing, I am deeply grateful. Grateful for the presence of the power of this universal mind of God in my life. So grateful. And with this gratitude, I go out into the world and share this love and light, this healing journey with every person I meet, seeing the divinity in everyone. So with this knowing, I release this word to the law of mind with faith, with trust, with an open, loving heart. And together we say, and so it is. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. See, what you don't know is Helen was the one that said to me that Sunday, just come on and drop by the center. Thank you.
I'm going to hand it over to Aiden, who is singing a song that has been requested many, many times. And I'll tell you a little bit about the composer. Thank you, Blair. The composer afterwards. So take it away there, Aiden.
This is Peace is Possible. together. Oh, peace is possible when we let none lead the way. Oh, peace is possible when we reach out to each other. Yeah, peace is possible today.
You nailed it. You nailed it. That was fantastic. And thank you, you guys. That was amazing. Amazing. And peace is possible. That was written by Karen Mitchell. And Karen Mitchell is this incredible musician. She and I went through ministerial school together. And this woman just has music pouring out of her all the time. And when we were on our, I was going to say practitioner retreat, ministerial retreat, to do our oral panels, and we had done a whole ceremony of bringing something, finding something on the grounds in Santa Barbara that meant something to us. And then she just took all of those objects, looked at them, looked at us, and just had her guitar, and this beautiful song comes out of her. And we're like, oh, and we're all crying. And this woman is an amazing, amazing musician. And she was so funny because James Mellon could never get my last name. He could never say it correctly. For 2 years, I corrected him. He'd say Valou, Valio. And finally, Karen goes, Valo like chateau. And then he got it. But and she's so incredibly generous. I sent her an email and said, hey, do you think you could send me some charts for our band? And she's like, oh, you can have as many as you want. So there's another one coming today that you're going to hear. So, peace is possible. Today is the 3rd anniversary of the Mount Fuji Declaration, May peace prevail on earth. And this is where 192 countries and every religion possible come together and gather at Mount Fuji. I was watching online this morning, very, very early, because actually yesterday was the 20th in Japan. And they come together at Mount Fuji, and there are prayers in every nationality and every religion that are spoken for peace. And this year's ceremony continued with the theme of harmony between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Now, each of us have the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us. And when these energies are integrated and come together as one, our true inner divine being shines forth. And I think that was actually really, really prevalent through some different experiences I had through the week and on the weekend. And it really is. Spirit is known as masculine. Thought is masculine. Even though we have feminine thoughts too, or more female-like thoughts, thought, spirit as the creator is known as the masculine. And the thought, once we have that thought and we declare that thought, it goes into the divine feminine, which is the law, because the law is the doer. The law is what creates, and it is the divine feminine that creates, and then we have it in form. Kind of like normal conception, man, woman, baby. Most of the time, that's most of the normal ways of conceiving. I know it's kind of a weird way to think of it, but it is this creative process that is happening within us all the time, and we're always evolving into something new. The one thing that we can count on is life is going to change. And life certainly changed in the royal family over the weekend. And I don't know if any of you saw the wedding. Oh my God, I'm doing a road trip to Chicago to Reverend Curry's church. Oh my God, he was amazing. He was, I could just lean over and do a service just like this, and he wanted to pound, and he wanted, he just brought this whole other energy into this church of vibrancy and love, and he talked about the power of love, and I'm going, right on. And then that choir singing Stand By Me, oh, we can never do Stand By Me again in the center because they just raised the bar. And I thought, this is a new consciousness being born. A consciousness, whether you agree with the royal family or not, that's not the issue. It's that there's change happening everywhere on every level. Thank goodness. Because this new evolution of inclusion and understanding that we are all one, all connected. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And that's why peace is possible. Because this idea of new thought is that, something new bursts through each and every one of us. So when we get centered and we get calm and we start listening to our own divine being, our own nature, then we have this whole new way of showing up in the world. And I do believe there is a new phase in the evolution of human civilization. And there's also this deepening state of crises that brings unrest to a lot of different parts of the world. There were so many contrasts between the celebration of the wedding and then there's the shootings and then what's going on in the Middle East, and you go, holy jumping, what's going on here? Well, what's going on is that there is a growing need for us to change our way of thinking and acting. And we have choice of either spiraling into the deepening peril or breaking through into a world that is dignified and unified and loving and supports the well-being of every single person on this planet. And throughout its history, human has been guided primarily by material consciousness. Yeah, fearing scarcity. It's really fearing scarcity that we have continued throughout history to be guided by this material consciousness and an attachment to that form. Except for that little one just coming in, that little being. We have a baby, this new baby born into our community on May 10th. Hello. Sorry, shiny object. But to pursue material gain beyond necessity and taking from wherever we feel we can grab it is depleting the earth's natural resources. Individually and collectively, if our aspirations continue to focus on what is material and finite, our world will face more and more destruction. So we must come back to our true nature. And what is our true nature? It is the divine knowingness that we are all one, we are all connected, that we are love. And in order to make more enlightened choices and to actually change the course of history, which, there were some demonstrations of that for sure this weekend, each of us, though, has a responsibility to return to the basic question concerning all human life. each and every one of us must continually ask as we are faced with challenges. Wait a minute, what is my true nature? What is my true nature? Am I going to retaliate with anger and fear and scarcity and pain and dragging the history into the present day and recreating it? Or am I going to find this meaningful and responsible, the ability to respond, answer? Because all the spiritual traditions of the world have been telling all of us that at the root, human life is linked to this universal source of all life that we call God, universal presence, spirit. And you know, the great thing is, today, science keeps affirming this. I love that. Science affirms and reaffirms this truth over and over again. So when we rediscover, and that we really are on this journey of rediscovering, coming back to remembering who we are. Oh yeah, remember who I am. Rediscover that I am love, I am light, I am life, I am peace, I am power, I am grace, I am joy, I am beauty, I am wisdom, over and over again. Then we are connected to something that's much bigger than us. We are connected to the cosmos, and we can realign our life. In each moment, we can choose to realign. Oh, yes, I'm choosing to respond from the divine being that I am instead of fear, instead of pain, instead of anger. And actually, anger is a secondary emotion. It's never a primary emotion. It's a reaction to feeling some kind of hurt underneath. So if you're feeling angry, ask what's underneath the anger. And we can realign ourselves with this universal movement towards oneness, towards peace and harmony through all of the diversity of life. And there is so much diversity in life, and that is to be celebrated, not feared. It is to take that step to understand it and learn about it instead of fearing it. Oh, that's different. No, I'm not going there. There's something wrong with that. So we can restore the divine spark, the human spirit, and bring forth our own innate love, our compassion, our wisdom, and our joy to live in a flourishing, abundant, healthy, vibrant life. And it is time for each one of us to be responsible for awakening that divine spark that is within our heart, because that's where it lives. That's where it lives, is in our heart. And it is possible. I do believe peace is possible. It is possible to guide the advancement of humankind towards peace on earth. And living peace and enabling peace to prevail on earth, I'd say that's a pretty important process and purpose for each and every one of us. The world is crying out for it. And we can embrace everyone, no matter who they are. So just imagine, and I just want you to use your imagination for a second, that on this day, people of all different religions and cultures and backgrounds gathering together. Imagine what that energy must have been like to gather and pray as one for a voice for peace on earth. Wouldn't that be spectacular? To be in that kind of, that big of a consciousness, and yet we can still tap into it because we can tap into that universal consciousness and connect to that energy at any time we choose. But the collective consciousness and the prayers sent out by so many people are the embodiment of peace itself. So as we continue, as a community and as a conscious community, I believe we are very conscious, as we go on demonstrating respect for one another's differences, and this state of oneness will start to emerge. So now, in this moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is just put your hands on your heart and breathe into your heart space. And breathe in and say, I am peace. And then breathe out and say, we are peace. We are peace. And what we're doing, if we take another breath in, I am peace. We are peace on the exhale. We are creating a field of energy that goes far beyond these walls. This is what each and every one of us are doing. That's how powerful you are. And that's how powerful we are collectively. You can put your hands down or not, your choice. So it's valuable to look at what's going on. Yes, we must see it, and we must name it. But it's also valuable to stop painting a future scenario built on fear, built on despair, built on suffering. We must use our powerful minds and direct our thoughts, our intentions towards peace and harmony within ourselves and with others. We need to know that deep in our heart are the thoughts and the choices that each and every one of us are creating a future for peace. We need to know that we have that power, and so does everyone else. And the accumulation of our thoughts, our choices, our decisions that every single one of us have made up until now has contributed and created the world today. So, if we don't like what we're creating, we can create something different. And this is what can be transcended through our consciousness. We can rise above all these conditions that we are not wanting in our lives, that we're not enjoying, and train our minds and train our hearts to be what we desire to be, in what we desire to have in our lives. I think all of us can hear the earth's cries of pain and the various disasters that are taking place. A lot of thunder and crying going on in Hawaii right now. And we're not, as human beings, just merely living. Our lives are sustained by this earth, by nature, and by all living things. And we need to have this harmonious relationship, not only with ourselves, but with Mother Earth, to honor and respect the earth that we walk upon, the earth that gives us so much abundance. It is always abundant. And I love what, for those of you who watched As a Man Thinketh a couple weeks ago, Reverend Michael Beckwith Well, Dr. Reverend Michael Beckwith talked about, in 2008, when the economy crashed in the US, he said, I went out into nature and I said, apple trees, are you still producing apples? Yes. And the kale was still, collards. They were collard greens. The collard greens are still being produced. The pears are still being produced in nature. Nature doesn't live in scarcity, and nature doesn't live in a recession. Only we do, because we decide to buy into someone else's idea about what is going on in the world. So we don't have to buy into the idea that this is a world headed for disaster. We can buy into, no, I'm going to be a contributor to peace on earth. I'm going to be a contributor to the well-being of our planet. This is where we have choice. This is where we need to use our consciousness. And therefore, for humanity to go on living, we need to be this conscious. We need to become aware of this insatiable greed and the fears and the stories that we keep creating in our mind that keep us separate from other people, that keep us separate from all of humanity. So let's train our minds. That's why we come here together on a Sunday, to focus on healing, to focus on uplifting ourselves and others. And I want to just talk a little bit about a quote from Martin Luther King Jr., because if Reverend Curry can do it in England, I do it here. We have experimented with the meaning of nonviolence in our struggle for racial justice in the United States. But now the time has come for man to experiment with nonviolence in all areas of human conflict. And that means nonviolence on an international scale. Now, let me first suggest that if we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must promote unity rather than separation. Our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. He wrote this in 1967, and oh my gosh, doesn't it hold true today? No, and he goes on to say, no individual can live alone. No nation can live alone. And as long as we try, the more we are to have war in this world. We must either learn to live together as brothers, or we are all going to perish together as fools. Like, so applicable to today about living together, loving together, and being together in community to really remember who we are, to love only, to forgive everything. Ooh, that's our journey. And to remember who we are, that we are divine beings. And so I made a decision that we, and it was supposed to be today, but it takes a long time to get across the border, we are going to also, as a community, plant a peace pole outside of our center. And it's going to be 7 feet tall. It is going to say, "May peace prevail on earth," in English and 7 other languages. So that we as a community are known as a beacon of consciousness for peace. And so that will come, well, apparently when it arrives. I'm learning to let go of control. I really did want it here today, but wasn't going to happen. But I've discovered I cannot control PowerPoint and I cannot control the mail. And, this idea of peace poles, they're all over the world. And it was first created by Masahisa Boy in 1955 in Japan. So It is all really about praying together, quietening our minds, and creating peace all around the world. So this is what we're going to do. And this is why we also started, and thanks to Carol, every third Sunday is a meditation focused on peace. So every third Sunday for half an hour before service, we come together and focus on praying so that our prayers become light illuminating the divinity in each and every human being. And that in time on this earth plane, we do become one, all living together in harmony. Our prayers become energy, and our prayers are energy. They are energies of love. They are energy of light, energy of compassion, the energy of healing. And that's how we embrace this earth. And peace prevails on earth. Namaste. So now, one of the ways of also being in contribution to this center is through your tithe and your generous gift, financial gift to the center. I am in the middle of posing a letter to our community members, just giving you an update of what's happening at the center, how your funds are being spent, and that'll go out in the next week. So you'll have a sense of that. I do thank you, and I want you to know that for the first time in the 11 years that I have been here, we are more financially abundant than we have ever been. And that's thanks to you. So thank you. And so, if you would take out your card, if you're a stewardship card, or you can repeat this after me. Divine love honors my gift. Honors my gift. I joyfully give to my spiritual center.
Joyfully give to my spiritual center.
Knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
I am grateful for all my blessings.
I am grateful for all my blessings.
And so it is.
So it is.
And we have a new song. A new song. It's a fun song. It's a Karen Mitchell song called Circulation. So I invite you all to stand up as the baskets go around and take it away, Aiden.
All right. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love.
Everybody.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. And it returns to me. Multiplied abundantly. Oh,
circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. And in deep gratitude for these contributions today, I trust and I know that money is God in action. And as we give, we receive. As we receive, we receive. I am grateful, so grateful for this beautiful center, the leadership with our board, and the contributions of each and every person here today. So with grateful, open heart, I say thank you, and together we say, and so it is. How are you?
Circulate my gift right now. Circulate my gift. Circulate my gift right now. I circulate my gift. Circulate my gift right now. Yeah, I circulate my gift. I circulate my gift right now. I circulate my gift. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly.
Oh, thank you, Aidan Farrell, Brendan Swanson, our incredible music director, and the band. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Tony on camera, to Wes on set, to Ken and Lynette, our board members, Sandra and Tasha for greeting, and for Margaret Ann for cleaning up today. Thank you to our lead practitioner, Linda Visosky. Thank you so much. Thank you to Carol Calder for leading our peace meditation. Nick is our community practitioner. If you have anything heavy on your heart, go and see Nick after service. Thank you to all of you for being here today. If you are new today with us, thank you so much for your consciousness and contributing to our consciousness today. And Aidan, take it away. Have an amazing week, everybody. Bye.